We're here today to talk about the 66 aluminum sprayer. This is a 100-gallon tank. It's called a PCO tank. It has all aluminum frame. It's mounted in the back of a mule. You got to make sure you got the right carrying capacity. And then what this customer wanted to do was be able to spray under a solar panel. So this is going to be used on a solar farm. So this is an off-center nozzle. It'll spray out under. Then it'll have the center one to spray a different product once he cleans his tank and make sure it's not reacting. And then he can use the same thing to spray on the other side of the solar panels. And this unit's kind of specially designed to do several different things. Either use a handgun by just flipping this line on, or the boom controlled by electronics on the other side, the right or the left or the center boom. So it's left, center, right. So this is done by, this is a Diaphragm Pump, which is a great high quality outdoor pump. Has a pressure reading on the inside. The bars is on the outside, so you always want to be careful about that. You have a unloader valve. This is the off position. The unit won't work in that position. You have to crank it up, always crank it up in this position with the valves open. So when you start spraying, move it to the on position and make sure your pressure is set. You always, before you move it over to the on position, you want to make sure your pressure is not set too high, because it is designed to run 100. Okay, so here's your control valve. You got a pressure gauge where you're reading pressure. You got your regulator valve where you can change the pressure electronically, but you can watch it right here. Then you have your valves. You've got your right, center, left. So these have to be in the up position to be on, and then they're turned on electronically. All the left, center, right are turned on electronically. You can regulate the pressure electronically. This is your electronic control. Has a master on and off. Has to be plugged in the cigarette lighter. It's got a green light. It's 12 volts. The master's turned on. You can see a light come on right here. Then you got left, center, right, and this is your regulator control. You turn these on, they all have lights, and you listen real close, you can hear them turn on. And then if you listen real close, you can hear the regulator work. When you use any gasoline engine, you got to make sure it has fuel, the correct fuel, make sure it has oil, make sure all the gearboxes have oil, and if it has the diaphragm, to check the pressure. When you get ready to crank, you got to make sure it's in the on position. Want to make sure your valve is in the off position. Spray, we got a single nozzle. The left is on. You can see we got 40 pounds, right at 40 pounds pressure. Now we're dead on it. So you turn on more nozzles, the pressure drops. You have to adjust it using the increase to get to where you want to be. One thing you want to be careful about is when you turn it off, pressure doesn't jump too high, it damages your equipment. Okay, so when you're testing the unit, you got it cranked up running, you engage the lever, you see where the pressure comes up, and remember the pressure's on the inside and it's pretty small. This unloader valve sets your pressure. You want to, if you got all your valves currently open, you want to kind of set it to where you want to spray, maybe a little bit under it, 10 or 15% under it, then turn your valves off and be careful about where the pressure ends up. You can have it here, and you can set it on a smaller scale over there. A few more of the features on this unit is the filter, which requires a 16 mesh. You should always check it before you start. Cut the ball valve off, pull the filter out, make sure it's clean. Always check one of the three valves, how you want it to operate. Right now it's set up to do the spray. set up to do the handgun, set up to do just agitation. So it does have an independent agitation, and if you were trying to reduce the pressure, you could always turn this on and have pressure all the time, but we are getting pressure from two other places: the return on the unloader and also the return on the regulator. This is the return on the unloader. Has a tube all the way to the bottom with a anti-siphon hole in it. This is the regulator pressure. It has a hole in it too, tube all the way to the bottom. We chose to do those separate because this bypass or unloader motor should always be unrestricted back to tank. So this is adjustable in and out to get the right spray width, and we can show you that. You ready? Here you can get different nozzles, do all kind of different rates. Now we only have the center boom on. For additional width, you turn on the left and right if you're spraying the same product. This unit is designed to do a different function. He wants to spray a specific amount right up underneath the tractor, and wants to spray something else on the outside. So those nozzles are adjustable up to the limits of the sprayer. You'd use your handgun to spray vegetation, privet hedge, things like this up in the air, or doing kudzu over a wide area. Locks in place, and we probably need to rotate it down to the next one so it'll rest well.
Visit our website at www.newtoncrouch.com for equipment specifications and technical tips. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to the Newton Crouch YouTube channel to see the latest technical demonstrations and sales information. Then give us a call at 800-241-1350. Our sales representatives will be glad to discuss your specific needs. They can help you select the options and the equipment type that will give you the best value for your investment. When you call NCI, you will always speak with a person who will make sure your questions are answered. No recordings. Proudly made in America, a family-owned business since 1940, Newton Crouch.